beginning of the bulletin, I tried my hand at the sport known as golf, but I think the right person to talk about golf is the chairman of the Kenya Golf Union, Lucas Baranga. Welcome to KBC Channel 1.
Thank you, Ahmed.
And, you know, for Lucas, it's a special year. He takes up the chairmanship of the Kenya Golf Union when they are turning 90. They had a tournament, Kenya KGU at 90. That's the same day they had the AGM when he was elected. So it was a special moment for him. And there are two tournaments they need to talk about. One is what we know as East Africa Challenge, but now it's known as Region 4. But there's this trophy here, and it has a special story. On the 3rd of March 1993, Moses Tanui, the 1991 world champion over 10,000 meters, became the first man to run a marathon in a half marathon in under 1 hour. The time was 59 minutes, 47 seconds, and he was given this trophy. 3 years ago, he donated it to the Kenya Golf Union, and as you can see right here, it's now known as the Victoria Cup. It's contested between Kenya and Uganda. It's basically the Kenya Golf Union's response to the Kenya Rugby Union and the Uganda Rugby Union's activity known as the Elgon Cup. So look, and Kenya will be hosting that tournament. And if you're to look at this trophy right here, you can see that Kenya have won this trophy. 2015, 2016. Are they going to win it at the Vet Lab Sports Club? So Lucas, let's have, this trophy of the whole story is, because this is the first activity that you have to take care of as a chairman of the Kenya Golf Union, is the Victoria Cup in July from the 25th to the 28th at the Vet Lab Sports Club. Yes. What's the story of this, trying to come up with this and as a response to what the Kenya Rugby Union and the Uganda Rugby Union has as an Elgon Cup?
Thank you, Ahome. Actually, Victoria Cup was, this is going to be the 3rd year of this event. And Victoria Cup was an idea that was mooted by a former chair of Kenya Golf Union, Anthony Mohoro. And it was at an event, I think it was in Kigali, if I'm not wrong. And he had a chat, of course, at the counter with the then...
at the 19th hole.
At the 19th hole. The then... his equivalent of Uganda Golf Union, and also one or two other gentlemen. And they thought, why don't we have an event? Why don't we have an event that can bring the two countries together? All
right. So, two countries being brought together, and that's the story of this very beautiful trophy here. So, and Kenya will be, talking about. Kenya will be hosting it. They've won it, and the first tournament was played at the. I'm sure you witnessed it. What was your take-up from the Kenya team and playing for this against the Ugandans?
The first tournament was tight. From what I recollect, it was down to the wire. In fact, we won it by a point, and so did we win it by a point even the next year. Yes, and so this one being the 3rd, and of course winning it by a point in Uganda at Entebbe Golf Club, and I happened to be there. The Ugandans were not very happy that you go to their house and you thrash them. So our friends down across the fence, so to speak, who are coming next month, are really raring to go, and they want to give us a thrashing back here at home. But of course, I don't see that happening.
All right. And this tournament is played in the format of the Ryder Cup. The most prestigious team competition in the world, Europe versus the USA. Yes. And the Ryder Cup tournament is not what most people would know. The easiest to understand is a pro golf system where you look at the course, if it's a par 71, par 72, and the scoring. Yes. But then there is the Stableford points, which is used mainly for most of the competition.
Most golfers prefer.
Most golfers prefer.
Yes.
But then there is this one, which is basically match play. You're playing against your opponent. Expound on that Ryder Cup format.
Well, there's some terminologies here which even me who's played golf for a number of years gets confused. So, of course, when they come on the Wednesday, will be a practice round.
Yes.
And then the Thursday, we'll have, in the morning, there'll be a round, and in the afternoon, a round, of 5 matches each, yeah? In the morning, there'll be what we call foursomes in the morning, and then in the afternoon, we'll have 4-ball, better ball. Please don't ask me to elaborate. I can take another 20, 30 minutes here.
Okay, wait. It's basic. All right, I can understand. So the foursomes means that it's 2 Kenyans.
Yes, 2 Kenyans, 2
Ugandans.
Yes.
And each of their scores count.
Each of their scores count, yeah.
So the question is, do you play through the 18 holes as an individual, or do you alternate?
You play through the 18 holes, and then now your cumulative score
is what now makes you win or lose the match.
Yes.
Then in the afternoon, the better ball, it's the one who's played better out of the pair, like me and you. I get a par, you get a birdie, so we take your score. Friday is same thing. It's 4-ball, a better ball in the morning, and the foursomes again in the afternoon. On Saturday in the morning, we have what is called a subsidiary, and this is where the Ugandans are really psyching up to come. Actually, when I was chatting one of them on the way here, they have almost 20 pairs or 25 pairs. That's about 50 players who are raring to come for this event. Because last year I also participated in the subsidiaries, and I think we lost it by a margin.
Yes.
But they're really psyching to come up, and of course to cheer the main team, but also to play. But that's just only in the morning, because in the afternoon we have which is called singles, where it's one Ugandan against one Kenyan. That now comes to the culmination of the event on the Saturday.
And by the way, that subsidiary competition has a very controversial name. How they accepted it, I don't know. The Migingo. Somebody called it the Migingo Cup.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, Kenya, Uganda, what is the one thing that both countries identify with? So it was a no-brainer.
Athletics, anyway.
Being cheeky about it and calling it Migingo. Yes.
So, and picking up this team, you need 10 Kenyan golfers to play against 10 Ugandan golfers.
Yes.
And what's the criteria for selecting the team at the Kenya Golf Union? Is it going to be on last year's Kenya Amateur Golf Championship, or are you going to work on what you'd call a calendar of 12 months going backwards based on the performance of this?
Well, we start from what you say rightly, the Kenya Amateur Golf Championship, which is the ranking system that we have out of a whole set of events that run through the whole year. So we'll pick the top guys from there. But over and above that, they'll go into a specific training schedule for this particular event. And of course, you have a reserve or two because one could get injured or unwell. So yes, that's where we go to pick the qualifiers for this event. And even is what we'll actually use for the next event that will be the following week, the Region 4 that you mentioned earlier. So that's where we get the players from, because it's cumulative how someone has played. Yeah.
And looking at it, who would you say probably has a sure shot at making the Kenyan team? Could we be talking about John Karichu? Could we be talking about Mochangi? Or who are we going to talk about?
Well, those two guys you mentioned are from my home club. Let me brag a bit, Limuru. So I'm hoping they'll be there, and they're really fine players. We also have the gentleman from VetLab who won last week's coronation at Nakuru. Mike is here, long-hitting fellow. He's a clubmate at VetLab also, Mudanyi, who's really been on a roll. So those are the guys who will see there. There's Dennis Saikwa from Royal who plays quite well also. So some of the names that will be there. Yeah, there's Njoroge from Railway. Yeah, some fine young men playing some really good golf. So it's a high chance that some of those guys, and a few others maybe who I've not mentioned, are the ones who will be at the top of this list. Yeah.
All right. Now, I remember the Kenya Open Golf Championship. Yes. Former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, said that, when the marshals say, let there be silence when people are teeing off or playing the shot or, putting when they're on the green, yes, it's not normal. But that crowd really does help. Yeah. How do you intend to get the crowd at the VetLab Sports Club over those 3 days?
Yeah. Well, we've even engaged a very able event planner to help us, number one, get sponsorship and fundraising, because with good sponsorship, then you have a good event. And we've activated on social media platforms, both here and even in Uganda, for guys to come. And we are also using the captains in the various clubs to rally guys to come and not just have fun watching some fine golf, but also just enjoy the big party that we're going to have there. So we are doing all we can, and allow me to take this opportunity, Wahome, to just appeal to even all the golfers who are watching this in the country and even beyond and in the region to come and really just enjoy the party and also witness some really fine golf. The Ugandans, like I said, are even appealing to their resident Ugandans, because of course Nairobi has a big Ugandan community, and that they may come and cheer their team, and we all get to have some good time.
That's the Victoria Cup. It's going to be played at the VetLab Sports Club. That's from the 25th to the 28th of July. 1 week later, the Region 4, what we used to know as the East Africa Golf Challenge. Tell us about this tournament.
Region 4, as you say rightly, Wahome, was East Africa Challenge. It was named Region 4 after a whole rearrangement of the zones with the help of R&A, who are the umbrella body globally for golf that we under, because we play under the
Royal and Ancient.
Royal and Ancient, correct. And so it was named Region 4, so also this area can stand on its own. Yeah, but unlike East Africa Challenge, which was, one would think, is just the countries in East Africa, this one, Region 4, some of the guys who are there, like Reunion, some of the islands that are going to come, Reunion, forgetting Seychelles,
Madagascar,
Mauritius. And we are hoping for at least not less than 9. Yeah, some of them have, a good number of them have confirmed. There's Ethiopia in this bandwagon. We even send an invite to Sudan, if there's someone there who can just come at least and witness, and if they are not able to raise a team right now. And so we are hoping for at least almost a dozen countries. We have, I think, 7 so far as of this interview confirmed. If we don't get to that number that we want, because the format, I think, requires almost 9 or at least minimum 8 countries for it to be effective, then we'll reach out to our brothers in West Africa and even North Africa to come at this event. We are hoping to have it at the coast. So there's a whole tourism angle there, having all these guys from other countries come to a beautiful coastal city of Mombasa and play golf and also sightsee around. So we're also appealing to even other stakeholders like Mombasa County. We are hoping to go down there in a week to meet the government, the county government there, KTB. We're having conversations for them to come and again take this opportunity to just highlight what the coast has to offer. So plans are underway, and so far so good.
All right.
Yes.
Those are the competitions that the Kenya Golf Union is going to be hosting. But what's their key mandate? It's about the development of the game. And the development of any sport goes down to the youth. The Kenya Golf Union has got the Junior Golf Foundation. The activities have been there. We've seen previously where Kenyan juniors have come up. But looking at, the last reports and what has been there, is that what the quality of the juniors we have, we probably don't have a scratch golfer at junior level, unlike maybe 3 or 4 years ago, when the Nyali boys, Adilis Hag, and Nduva, Matthew Wahomeni's brothers, the Balalas, so they were there. Those were the top juniors. Now they've gone past that. What are you doing to develop this at the young level?
Well, there have been the Junior Golf Foundation, as you say, has a mandate. If you recall, recently at State House, we gave the president the strategic plan, the junior golf, for what we want to do. But I think, let me say, Wahome, to move this from paper to practice, really, we have to lower the barrier of entry into this sport. And like maybe soccer, where we just kick a ball and have a field, there's all this thing of equipment and clubs. And truth is, very few people or parents can even afford to get that for their kids. So at the union, we are really looking at even having conversations with the foundations that are golf related, even out of this country, to give us kits that we can use. But over and above that, instead of just going to ask for stuff from outside, we are also speaking at the county level, because we have junior golf reps at the county levels. Allow me to say that even when I was in Nakuru last week, we spoke with the gentleman in the charge of the Nandi and Kisii area, and even Nakuru County itself. And already the county government is engaging to some level to support the junior activities by getting equipment. Clubs, on the other hand, are opening up their course and their facilities to schools around the region for juniors to come and play. Until we get it from that level, Wahome, the few who come up there, then we won't be able to get to the place we want to be.
And tied to that, there is the Golf Talent Foundation, which is basically meant to tap into it and bring people together. And also the concept of a virtual club, so that you probably, if you can't afford to join, like you say, Limuru or Royal or Railways or Nanyuki, then you have a virtual club membership. How's this working?
Two things. The Golf Talent Foundation is off the ground. There is a gentleman who I serve in the union called Gianni Derito, who's done a spectacular job with his GTF team. And as we speak right now, we already have, I think, more than 8, almost a dozen universities. And we've had, I think, 3 or 4 events already for university golf that is under Golf Talent Foundation, where university students come and we organize for them tournaments, they play, they get taught, and then it picks up. Because we want that universities can have vibrant golf teams that can become self-sustaining. And then that way, those young university golfers, even as they go into the corporate world or biashara, they can be able to still advance this sport.
Which universities are involved, refers to us?
We have Nazarene, Multimedia University, I think JKUAT is there, I think KU, if I'm not wrong, Nairobi. There are a number of those here. Those are the ones I can remember now, but there are probably almost 10. And it's really exciting. In fact, we should later on maybe even show you a few clips of some of those events that have happened.
I wouldn't mind those clips.
Yeah. And then the other thing was on the virtual that you mentioned, virtual handicapping.
Virtual membership.
We're having these bodies, and let me mention one that is called Detour that has really, really grown, over 800 golfers from various clubs, that just guys who have a passion for golf. Some are members and some are not, that are playing. And so we've, as a union, have given a virtual platform where you can get handicapped, because a number of them don't have club membership. And again, these are some of the ways that I'm mentioning of lowering the barrier of entry, that me, who's not a club member, can get a virtual handicap, get trained on the basics and play. So those things are happening.
All right, fine. And I decided that I'm going to bring the barrier of entry to golf for myself lower than the Kenya Golf Union could ever imagine.
Yes.
So let's move away from this table and move on right up here. A simple demonstration about putting. At least I know as a sports journalist I've got to do this.
Yeah.
So.
But you're not even dressed for the...
I'm not dressed for it. I'll be forgiven. Maybe it's... Okay, you don't know. I could be a sponsor at one of the events.
You know, absolutely, absolutely.
So I'm dressed for...
Yes.
And I'm dressed for the event.
Yes.
Actually, I think in just a month or so, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation will be partnering with other people at the current country club. So you could talk and we could do that. Yes. So this is a putter.
Yes, this is a putter.
So demonstration, right?
Well, I'm a mid-handicapper, not very low, not very high. So, of course, you're just putting, and the aim is to get into that hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That's the first one. I've got more balls here within the
golf balls.
Golf balls. So this would be actually a green.
This is a green, yes.
And
that's the hole right there.
So
usually it has a pin, but the pin is not there today.
Yes. And what's the whole essence, for example, at putting? What should be like the body movement for?
Well, what I do, I guess if we had the pros here, they would probably give us more information. But the thing is just to keep your shoulders moving. Sometimes some of us move with our wrists, which is not good. Some of us move with their bodies. And so you can either now, when you move with your bodies and bring too much interruptions, you either pull it this way or open it that way. So the thing is just to probably give the strength that's required based on the distance from the hole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one more.
Oh.
One more.
I usually don't play like this, so this is a good lunchtime at home. Maybe you should be playing with you then.
No, I would be winning the Pigamingi prize every day. So yeah, so that's a demonstration.
Why don't you try?
On this. All right. Okay, you can hold this for me.
Sorry.
So do I have my grip right?
Well, yeah, I think with putting you can be forgiven to do what's comfortable. The other bigger clubs are the ones you need a little bit more emphasis on the grip.
Club probably.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
But what makes you comfortable?
Anyway.
Yeah. Shoulders movement peke yake.
Allah. All right. So I should sign up, maybe. I'll start a virtual club here at the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. And by the way, we also have a golf team with our, members of our engineering team and one of our video editors. So, and yes, we do well. Finished second at Kekoso last year. We intend to do better. Yes, that's the kind of talent we've got here.
So you're the team captain?
No, I'm not the team captain. I'm the team physio. So it's been a pleasure to host you.
Thank you.
Lucas,
Thanks
the chairman
for having us. Thanks
of
for having
the
us.
Kenya Golf Union.
Yes.
And letting us have this parting mat and also have a feel of this trophy that Moses Tanui won 25 years ago and he's donated for it. And we hope that Kenya does it. So it's chairman of the Kenya Golf Union, Lucas Maranga. Thank you very much for being with us.